Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Just want to give you guys a life update before we get started with today's episode. First of all, I do want to apologize that I missed uploading the last couple of days. Basically, for those that don't know, I'm actually heading to Worlds next Wednesday, and right after Worlds, I'm flying out to California to attend college. So it's been a really busy time in life. This is my last week of my internship, so I'm finishing up my work there. I've been practicing for Worlds in my spare time. Also been spending a lot of time seeing my friends for the last time and spending time with my family as well. So haven't been able to upload as much as I'd really like to. For the next week or so, basically before I leave, I'm going to do my best to bring you guys as much content as possible, but I'm not sure if I can guarantee daily episodes of Road to Rank, but I'll do my best. Basically, whenever I do have free time, I'm going to spend it recording. So just to let you guys know. And before I head out for Worlds and for college, I'm going to be giving a update video for this channel, basically letting you guys know the status and my plans for the future. But in a sneak preview, I definitely plan on continuing with YouTube and everything. I just want to hear, what suggestions you guys have for the channel, what I can do to make it better, especially since, Road to Rank, we've been doing this since the very first day VGC rules were announced, and now we're actually up until the very end. So I am curious as for how, you want to see this channel be more interesting and spice it up for more ways for you guys to learn in the future. But yeah, that's basically it for this update. We're just going to spend this last week continuing with Ben's team since we only had 4 days with it last week. And yeah, we're just going to jump onto the ladder. So I did play a lot of games in between the last couple of days on ladder just to test a couple of things up. So my rating currently isn't as high as it was, but still in the 1700s. We'll see what we can do in this week. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please show your support by leaving a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. In addition, last Friday I released a new series, or the first video of a new series, as we find G from Mexico with a rating of 1689. In that series, I basically analyzed one of the stream games from Nationals, and that first one was my game against Paulo Chua. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it in the description below. It seemed like a lot of people liked it, so I would appreciate any feedback on that series. Anyway, my opponent here is rocking a pretty scary team of Bishop, Rizian, Clefable, Salamence, Heatran, and Suicune. So immediately I see the Bishop and the Clefable, and I know Salamence here is going to want to avoid, giving the Bishop the Defiant boost immediately. One thing I would change about the Salamence personally is Earthquake. I think Earthquake would be really nice here just because you can pair it up with Latios and just Earthquake and hit things like Bishop and Heatran. In my experience, I haven't used Rock Slide much, and I would guess he used Rock Slide to counteract Charizard, which is definitely fair, but the game's on Battle Spot at least. It seems like Earthquake might be slightly better. But let's see what I want to lead with here. Latios obviously isn't just safe either because he can just use the Bishop and go for a Sucker Punch immediately. But one way I can counteract that is by going with Latios and Volcarona, which right now is actually the most tempting lead for me. I think Latios hits pretty hard in this game, and if my opponent leads like Bishop Clefable, I can just Heat Wave, obviously. I do want Nidoqueen in this game. I think Nidoqueen is very good. And for the last one, Salamence, nope. I don't like Salamence here very much, actually. The main reason I'd want Salamence is for the Clefable. Return hits it really hard. Scizor is worth considering. It's really between Scizor and Breloom here. Because right now, I can Sludge Bomb Clefable for a lot of damage. So, I'm leaning towards Breloom here. Yeah, I'm going to go with Breloom, I think. Well, what would Scizor allow me to do? I can Bug Bite the Rizian and Bullet Punch things, but the Heatran there is what's really scaring me, and Breloom at least has the Focus Sash to survive and get a Spore off. Yeah, I'll lock in here and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think another difficult thing is the lack of resistances to fire types. So like Salamence is the only one that really resists it well, but then Salamence without a real way to hit Heatran is kind of difficult. It's not like Dragon Claw, Rock Slide, or Return are doing substantial damage. But we're gonna see the Suicune and the Heatran lead from my opponent. Pretty strong lead here against my Latios and Volcarona. So I think my opponent definitely has the lead advantage because the Suicune here puts on immense pressure. And unfortunately, this Latios doesn't have anything like a Hidden Power Ground, which would be very helpful. So I think to start off, I'm gonna go straight for the Grass Knot. Actually, I should check how much Grass Knot does relative to Psychic, since I don't know Suicune's weight there. I think Grass Knot does more, but I'm not entirely sure. I could go for Grass Knot Tailwind, which is what I'm leaning towards. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Grass Knot and the Tailwind. Alright, let's see what we can get. Heatran here really difficult though, and Heatran, like I mentioned, is just tough Pokemon to beat with this team. Scizor doesn't knock it out. Obviously, you can't really touch it. Salamence can't really do it much. So yeah, kind of have to rely on Nidoqueen and Breloom. Nidoqueen, of course, can Earth Power it, but the difficult thing here is my opponent's Suicune can match my Tailwind, which is going to be hard. Because on this first turn, I think if you're my opponent, you can actually go straight for the Scald and the Heat Wave onto Volcarona, then set up the Tailwind the following turn. Grass Knot there, though, does a very good amount of damage there. He does have Rocky Helmet, so I do take some recoil there, and Heatran launches a Flash Cannon here, so full of surprises his first turn. Does a ton of damage to me, even with that critical hit. Doesn't knock me out. Volcarona gets the Tailwind off. Let's see what Suicune goes for. I'm actually really hoping Suicune attacks here so I can just pick up a KO next turn. He does go for the Scald, which is great here. Gonna target down the Volcarona here. Does a ton of damage, but what can you do? Does proc my Citrus Berry at least. So the nice thing here is at least next turn I can go straight for the Grass Knot onto Suicune. Kind of surprised to see the Flash Cannon there, and unfortunately the critical hit means after another Rocky Helmet recoil, I might actually KO myself, or the Heatran can knock me out with the Heat Wave. But I think this next time I'm going to go just for the Grass Knot and the Bug Buzz onto Suicune, because I want to take advantage of his Tailwind. I'm also hoping that he knocks my Latios out here. He's actually going to withdraw Suicune, which is a great play on his end. As what's coming in, it's going to be that Salamence. Yeah, that's by far the best Pokemon to switch it into. I guess I could have considered switching Latios out, but not sure if I really wanted to. I'm actually not sure if another Heat Wave will even knock me out, but let's see. I'm hoping the Heat Wave knocks me out, like I said, because I do get a free switch into the Nidoqueen or the Breloom. Either is fine. So not too much damage done to the Salamence here, unfortunately. Actually, it just does around 50%. That's not too bad. He's going to go for another Flash Cannon, though. Not a Heat Wave there, so Latios goes down, but the Volcarona sticks around, which I'm more than okay with. Okay, so now I do get a free switch into one of my Pokemon. Who do I want to switch into? Unfortunately, Volcarona is really not doing very much right now. Yeah, this is really tough. Let's see, looking at my opponent's team, I think I like Nidoqueen a bit more. I mean, Breloom can Spore. It's a really nice thing. Yeah, I'll bring out Nidoqueen. But now we've got Mind Games. It's basically a 50-50 on who protects and who doesn't. If I can nail the protect and switch out into Breloom, then I'll give myself such a good chance of winning this game. But who do you protect here? Who do you protect? I really want to Ice Beam Salamence. You know what? I'm going to Ice Beam Mens and switch out into Breloom, because even if Heatran gets the Heat Wave off, then the following turn, I mean, he'll bring my Breloom down to Focus Sash, but Salamence here protects, and then I can just Ice Beam to knock it out the next turn. The issue is that he can be smart and switch Salamence out, so I would really hope to pick up a knockout here and just catch it off guard. But it really comes down to what Heatran does here. Does he stay in? Does he go for a Heat Wave? Does he switch out? Does he protect? All of those. Also interesting to see Flash Cannon there. I feel like we haven't seen Substitute nearly as much on Heatran recently, which is kind of interesting to me because I think Substitute is such a good move on Heatran, but I'm not going to complain about that. So one turn of Tailwind gone. Salamence takes around 50% of damage, but unfortunately that chip damage didn't really help me out. Smarter play last turn actually probably would have been to go for the Grass Knot and switch out into Nidoqueen, just so once I lose Latios, I get a free switch in, and then Volcarona you know, isn't out in a position where it's not doing very much. So I'm going to switch it out here and go into my Breloom, and we'll see what my opponent goes for. As Salamence Mega Evolves, the question is, does he protect this turn, or does he go for the attack? Let's see. I'm hoping the fact that Nidoqueen's out here can scare the Heatran into protecting. Okay, well, neither Pokemon protects, which is actually probably the best play there. So Ice Beam goes off into Salamence, but I think I'm going to be eating a Heat Wave up here, unfortunately, which is going to be really bad for my poor Breloom here. Oh, but he goes for the Flamethrower, okay. Targeting the Nidoqueen, cool. So, you know, Nidoqueen is really bulky, and that's one question that a lot of people are asking. Why do you use Nidoqueen instead of Nidoking? And that's because the bulk there is really nice, and you see it actually takes out with over 50%, which I'm even a bit surprised about, but that's really nice. A Bishop's going to come in for my opponent here, but not the worst of Pokemon to see, especially with the Volcarona out in the back. So next turn I'm going to go for the Earth Power here onto Nidoqueen. Actually, I'm not sure. I could Spore Heatran. Or Spore Bisharp. Because he might Sucker Punch me, and if he has Life Orb, I think that knocks out Nidoqueen. Or Focus. I don't know, I'm not sure if Sash will knock me out. You know what? I'm going to switch out into Volk here. And forget Spore. I'll just Superpower Heatran. Okay, let's go for it. Life Orb Super... Not Life Orb, but Breloom's Superpower is really powerful. I think he'll knock out the Heatran, but we'll see. Oh, he's just going to protect there. Good play. So let's see what Bisharp goes for here. Okay, he's going to double protect this turn. So it actually works out fine because I get a free switch in here into my Volk. So Superpower fails, unfortunately. Tailwind peters out. But I can go for another Tailwind here. Yep, I'm going to Tailwind and rather protect. Those Spore works here as well. Don't know how fast this Heatran is though. I'd assume I'm faster though. Yeah, I'll Tailwind Spore here. Unless his Heatran and Bisharp both outspeed me, but he shouldn't here. And let's see. I mean, Volcarona can also redirect. We've seen the Heatran use Flamethrower and Flash Cannon. I would presume Earth Power is the last one. So you have to, the single target attacks here. Heat Wave would be consistently better, but I do like Flamethrower / Overheat Heatran more just because of all the Wide Guard Aegislash that's running around. So its turn is definitely pretty big. I also revealed the Superpower to him, unfortunately, instead of the Mach Punch. And Mach Punch obviously threatens Bisharp, but this Breloom carrying Superpower instead to take advantage of that tail and getting a lot of damage off. So see how this next turn plays out. Okay, Heatran's gonna go for the Earth Power, gonna target down Volcarona. I think we might see the double into Volcarona this turn. Gets the special defense drop, but should proc my Citrus Berry there. Breloom, oh actually, excuse me, Citrus Berry is not there anymore. I do get the Spore off against the Heatran, which is great. Let's see what Bisharp does, presumably going for the knockoff. No, he's gonna go for the Iron Head onto Breloom here. Okay. And no Life Orb, so you would have to guess that he's got the Focus Sash here. Which makes things kind of tricky, but it's alright. So I could just Superpower Heatran here and Bug Buzz. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I don't think he'd Sucker Punch Breloom here. I think at this point you would probably protect with Bisharp. That would make the most sense to me. But nice turn by my opponent there. I thought he would have doubled up into one of the two Pokemon, honestly. That would have made the most sense to me. He actually withdraws the Heatran, which is a great play on his end here. In comes the Suicune, but the Suicune here, not exactly the most healthy of Pokemon either. So we'll see if Bisharp protects here or not. Okay, he does protect. Great. So what this means is I could double up into that slot next turn. Let's see if Superpower can pick up the knockout here. I think it can. Yeah, it actually does. Gets a critical hit there. I'm not sure if that would mattered. I'm okay with that, though. Breloom, of course, does take that Rocky Helmet damage, but you know what? That's fine. So, Bug Buzz does go into the Protect here. Still kind of tricky here. I mean, Bisharp once again could go for the Sucker Punch. So, to prevent that, I could actually Spore him. I could Heat Wave, and I could double up into... I don't want to Heat Wave there, because then it boosts his power. Yeah, I'd rather go for the Bug Buzz. And I'm going to Spore here. Avoid the Sucker Punch. Yep, he's going to go for it. Oh, targets down Volcarona, though. Is that enough to knock me out? Nope. I actually burn it, which prevents me from Sporing it, which is kind of inconvenient here. But Bug Buzz plus Burn's going to add up that damage. Let's see. Yeah, that comes really close to knocking out. Doesn't quite knock it out, but this is actually really, really close. So Bisharp should go down next turn. Superpower won't knock out Heatran. You know what? I'm going to go for the Rage Powder and the Superpower onto Heatran or Bisharp. I'll target Heatran here. Oh, that was interesting last time. I didn't think he'd Sucker Punch the Volk, but I guess that makes sense. Yeah, so he's going to Sucker Punch this time around. So I'm going to get the Superpower off. He's got Choco Berry on Heatran, though. Okay. So now the question is, can Heatran wake up? Superpower still does a respectable amount of damage, though, even with the Berry. Heatran, does he wake up? He manages to wake up, and he gets the Earth Power off against the poor Volcarona. That's going to knock it out. Ooh, we got some mind games now. So Bisharp should faint from the burn. But I think Tailwind peters out here. So Bisharp does go down. This is really coming down to the wire. Wow. Quickly grab my charger. Tailwind does peter out. And we did see like he outsped me with the Heatran, I believe, in terms of Breloom. So Nidoqueen comes in. Now what do you do? Actually, no, I think it's fine. I'm actually just going to Earth Power and Spore him. Yeah. Because then if he targets Nidoqueen down with an Earth Power, I mean, as long as he doesn't get a 1-turn Wake, I can win this game. I don't know. I'd rather go for the Earth Power and the Spore knowing that he has to get a 1-turn Wake Up to win, rather than protect Nidoqueen, have him target down my Breloom, and then just lose the game the next turn. So I don't want to make it a 50-50. Though I guess by forcing a 1-turn sleep, I mean, it's a 33% chance in his favor. So he's going to go for the Earth Power here. Unfortunately, does target down Nidoqueen, so Protect there could have won me the game and picks up the knockout there. So correct play by my opponent there, you know, but I almost protected. You know, of course, Protect would have been so obvious, though, and then he would have just outright won. So I am going to put Heatran to sleep here. I don't think another Superpower will knock me out, unfortunately, because of the decreases in attack. But we'll see. I'm at -2 right now. But then again, it's basically a normal Superpower against Heatran. Breloom's attack is really high, so going to take that first turn of sleep. Let's see if Breloom can pick up the knockout here. Breloom goes for the Superpower. Is it enough to knock out Heatran? Let's see. Oh my gosh, it comes so close, but it doesn't pick up the knockout. So let's see if he wakes up in 1 turn, and once again, it's going to come down to that, basically. Does Heatran manage to wake up? We're all holding my breath really hard right now. Let's see. Comes so close. Wow. Literally a sliver of health. And he wakes up, and he goes for the Protect. Oh no. No. Superpower. So I guess I should have just made the Ball Zero prediction and protected Nidoqueen. But in that position, like, I would have targeted Breloom predicting the Protect. So Flamethrower is going to come out from that Heatran, target down Breloom, and pick up a knockout. A really great game there. Kind of crazy ending there. I felt like I didn't play as ideally as I should have towards the end there, honestly. But that's the difficult part. I don't know. I mean, this team being as thorough as it is, and without having Tailwind up, unfortunately, Breloom and Nidoqueen become a bit slower. And the double 1-turn Wake Up there from Heatran really didn't help my case. But that's what happens when you use Spore and you kind of rely on it and hope to not get those Wake Ups immediately. But a really good game there. You know, it's always exciting when it comes down to that very last turn. So, fortunately, we're going to pick up a loss, but I'm not going to mind that too much. Obviously, I could have just protected Nidoqueen, attacked with Breloom. But once again, like I mentioned, had I protected Nidoqueen and he targeted Breloom, the game would have been lost. So I was going for that risk knowing that you know, it would pay out the majority of the time, but unfortunately, with the 1-turn Wake both times, it just really didn't pan out in my favor. So, I'm going to try to hop over the 1700s in this next game and try to pick up a win there. But, once again, a great game there. Pokemon choice-wise, you know, not the worst. I don't think Salamence would have really helped my case there. It's just, like, the Heatran matchup is really difficult, especially without Earthquake on Salamence, which I mentioned earlier. But we're going to find Seed from California for our second opponent of the day, running a pretty darn cool team here. Scizor, Tornadus, Politoed, Ludicolo, Raichu, and Kabutops. So, rain kind of oriented. And I don't like facing rain with this team either. So, let's see. What can I lead with? I like Salamence, Breloom, kind of. Salamence, Scizor, maybe, actually. Yeah, I guess I'll go Salamence, Scizor. This team doesn't exactly have the best rain matchup either. I'll go Breloom in the back. For the last one, don't think Nidoqueen's the call. Latios might be alright here. Volcarona, not that great. I'd bring Volk just for Scizor, but I don't know if that's... It's not a bad reason to bring it. Well... Today's just an episode of rough matchups, honestly. And I think that's where the team sometimes falls apart in terms of just like weaknesses and not much great team synergy in terms of typing. I think the offense is fantastic, but when the offense runs out, it can really hurt. So... I'm leaning towards Latios here, just with a Choice Scarf. Yeah, I'll bring Latios here. Lock in, we'll see how this goes. Another thing is, without a reliant Fire-type attack other than Volcarona's Heat Wave, it's... Hitting Steel types can be hard, and like the Rain plus Scizor here is really deadly. You know, we did see Politoed on Tolar Webb's national winning team, and he paired that up with Aegislash, and that became a very deadly duo. So we are going to see the Politoed Ludicolo lead right from my opponent. So I kind of like this matchup just because, first of all, I get to see what item Politoed has based off the abilities here. Given that Intimidate went off first, he's not going to be Choice Scarf, which is valuable information. But then we have some mind games here because Ludicolo, of course, his speed is increased right from the start of this game. So, you know, does he go for a Fake Out into Scizor and a Scald into it, predicting, you know, making some nice predictions? I could go straight for the return onto Ludicolo and the Bug Bite. But we might just see an Ice Beam onto Salamence and a Scald onto Scizor. And I don't have great switch into Ice either. Ugh. You know, I really want to just return Bug Bite this turn. I'm gonna go for it. Worst case, I lose Salamence and Scizor gets burned. But I suspect Ludi here will want to fake out the Scizor. Or maybe Scald it. Okay, fake out comes out, targeting Scizor. Perfect. Well, then the question is, does Poly go for an Ice Beam? But regardless, I should knock out Ludicolo here, so that ends up working out quite nicely. So Ludicolo goes down in one hit. So making a bit more aggressive reads this time around. Does Politoed go for the Scald into that slot? Yep, Scald does come out. So that's going to do a lot of damage. Let's see if it burns me. No burn. Nice. So Scizor actually pretty bulky there, proving its worth. It survives that with over 50%. And that's as good as a turn one as I could have. I mean, I could have protected Scizor there, but then that would have been way too much of a read. And, you know, I like to make aggressive reads, but not that aggressive. So he's going to bring out Kabutops, which definitely isn't any more fun to deal with here. I do want to double protect to see what he goes for. Yeah. I think I'm going to double protect, see if he protects with either of his Pokemon. Though, I mean, Scizor does have Feint as an option. And Kabutops is a really interesting Pokemon here. It's not one that's used very much in VGC, especially not on the rain teams, which basically uses Ludicolo. Sometimes Kingdra, sometimes the, not the Kabutops, the Omastar actually. So we do see just a Rock Slide and the Scald go onto Scizor. So, given that play, I could maybe double up onto Politoed, because he shouldn't knock out either of my Pokemon. Though I would actually rather knock out Kabutops here. I'm actually gonna double up into Kabutops with the Bullet Punch Dragon Claw. Ooh, but he goes for the Helping Hand. He didn't reveal that last turn. That's nice. Helping Hand rocks. I don't know if that'll be enough to knock me out. Well, this Bullet Punch. Okay, so he does go for the Helping Hand. Does go for the Rock Slide. Let's see how much damage this does to the Salamence and the Scizor. Oh, Salamence hangs out with 9 HP, but the question is, does he flinch me? Okay, no, he doesn't flinch me. I get the Dragon Claw off. Let's see if that's enough to knock him out, though. Nope, Kabutops proven his bulk there. Really nice. That's definitely an opportunity for me to bring out Breloom, though. Okay, well, with Breloom out, I'm going to go for the Protect with Mence. And the Spore onto Politoed. Or just knock out Kabutops. The question here is, does he Protect with his Kabutops? Because he might. I'm going to Spore the Politoed, expecting a Protect from Kabutops. Yeah, it would have been nice to pick up the KO there, but unfortunately, Kabutops being relatively bulky. That was a really clutch Helping Hand, though. You know, just surprised my opponent didn't reveal that last turn, but good information management in that end, and that's why best of one's really tricky sometimes. And, you know, picking up the knockout there would have been so big for me, so much to the point where I would feel very confident about this match. But Salamence protects first. I guess Kabutops not going for the Protect here. Yep, he's just going to launch a Rock Slide here. I guess Politoed going to go for the, Ice Beam. Let's see if he flinches me. And he gets the flinch! Ice Beam comes out, targets on Breloom. What can you do? Alright, I'll bring out Latios, but that might just be a loss in our book here. Unless I can outspeed Kabutops with Scarf Latios, but I'm not counting on it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of have to hope for that at this point. I'll Psychic that slot. That's such a bad flinch, but I guess I could have just protected and targeted down Kabutops. I mean, actually, it wouldn't have mattered who I targeted down there. I would have had to avoid a flinch. Nice of my opponent to not predict the Mach Punch, and I think Mach Punch would be so much better on this Breloom in most of the situations. I mean, the superpower against Kangaskhan's really, really nice. He is going to go for the Helping Hand, so if Grass Knot somehow outspeeds him, or he double misses Rock Slide, that'd be great. Oh, I am actually faster. Okay. So Scarf Latios coming through here, outspeeding Kabutops, picking up the knockout. That's exactly what I needed for a shot to get back into this game. Salamence gets this return off against Politoed and almost knocks it out. That's really, really good damage there. Alright, so what's my opponent's last Pokemon? Let's see. It's going to come down to that, but that's exactly what we needed. It's going to be that Tornadus. Okay. Alright. Okay. So I suspect he has Hurricane. I'm going to go for the Rock Slide. Psychic onto Tornadus or Politoed here, because he might go for the Helping Hand. I'm going to Psychic Tornadus. Yeah, he does go for the Helping Hand. Okay, cool. So if he Helping Hand targets down Latios, I should win this one. So Psychic comes out, as long as I don't miss Rock Slide, of course. Yep, it's good damage. Is that Citrus Berry Tornadus? Whoa. What is he? Oh, I'm faster. Okay, great. I should have expected that. Actually, I don't know why. I was expecting Scarf Tornadus for some reason. So I do pick up the knockout on both. So Scarf Latios comes and saves the day by picking up that knockout onto Kabutops, thank goodness. So really fun episode for you guys there, even though that first game was kind of frustrating since, you know, I could have won it just by making the right prediction there in the end, but played a bit too safe and didn't work out in my favor. But yeah, it's going to be it for this episode. We split our game, 1 win, 1 loss in today's episode. And like I mentioned, I'll try to see how much content I can make in the additional days, but if you guys can just continue supporting Road to Rank by leaving a like and giving me any feedback, I'd always really appreciate it. And just please understand my current life circumstances basically doesn't allow me to push out content consistently to the point where I really want it to be, but I'll promise I'll do my best these upcoming days and basically for this next week. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Leave a like always if you enjoyed it, and I'll do my best and try to see you guys tomorrow, if not the day after. Alright, peace.